Dragon Quest VII Reimagined will be releasing in early access soon, and I highly recommend checking it out if you're a fan of JRPGs or the Dragon Quest series. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is basically a remake of Fragments of the Forgotten Past, which was originally released on the PS1 and then later remade for the 3DS. Now, after almost 13 years of it being released on the 3DS, which gave it a 3D makeover, we have Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. This remake completely overhauls the visuals, making it look pristine and gorgeous. While the color scheme can sometimes be a hit or miss, the visuals themselves look incredible now, and honestly, this is an amazing way to play through the game. On top of that, we have a ton of new changes, including a streamlined narrative and the vocation system being significantly better to use. Ultimately, all the changes to the game make it a well worthwhile JRPG to play through, and honestly, even if you've played Dragon Quest VII, there is a lot of value in playing it again. However, in this video, I want to talk more about Steam Deck performance because it isn't perfect right off the bat, and we can make it significantly better. And before we get into it, if you want to see more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. And a copy of the game was provided by Square Enix for review. Thank you. So for whatever reason, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined defaults to the low settings on the Steam Deck, and it makes the game look terrible. The world is devoid of good lighting and shadows are a thing of the past. Still, at this, it does perform at 60 frames per second. However, it's not something I would say I enjoy playing through. However, with one simple change, we can make the game play on near max settings at 60 frames per second with a really low battery drain of around 8 watts to 11 watts. And all you have to do is change all the settings to the max and then change resolution scaling to medium. After that, you will have all the bells and whistles of playing the game at the higher visual quality while also being able to play at 60 frames per second. This does make the game a little bit more blurry in some aspects, and some faces, especially when you're walking around, will look a little bit more blurred than they usually should. However, it makes the game run significantly better while still having all the high quality settings. And with a smooth 60 frames per second, there's no other way that I would recommend playing this game. However, if you have to be playing at the maximum quality settings, you can do that, but there are a couple of other compromises you need to make. So instead of playing the game at 60 frames per second, you're going to have to stick to around 45 frames per second. The game cannot hold a stable 60 throughout at the maximum quality settings, so you are going to have to bring it down to 45 if you want something stable and save as much battery life as possible while it's still feeling relatively smooth. You can play at 50 frames per second and maybe add a little bit of extra smoothness, but the battery drain is going to go higher, and I honestly think 45 felt perfect. Your battery drain is also going to be ranging from around 15 watts to 18 watts instead of 8 to 11 watts, so you're going to get about an hour and a half to 2 hours less battery life than you would from our recommended settings. However, if you have to play at the highest quality settings, this will work. It's just not something I would recommend when the recommended settings still get all the bells and whistles with just that slight change and so much more battery life with a solid 60 frames per second. The game does not support 16:10 resolutions, but it does have cloud saves and controller support. There are also no HDR settings involved. Now, here's just some straight gameplay of Dragon Quest VII Reimagined on the Steam Deck with our recommended settings.
Ah, so you have returned. But first, please enlighten me. Why do you evade?
As Prince of Astard, it was because I found my... I've been so fortunate. I had the best upbringing. Everything I am today is thanks to you. P.S. Bina.
He's found... No, that isn't right. Now he's chosen to give up
blast!
That was easy.
All right. It's really hard not to love Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, especially on the Steam Deck. It's a great JRPG with an interesting story that is much more streamlined now, and I really do love how all the islands kind of feel like mini adventures in and of itself. And on top of that, Steam Deck performance is immaculate, especially when you make that one change. Honestly, this is going to be one of the best JRPGs that you're going to be able to play on the Steam Deck in 2026, and personally, I cannot recommend it enough. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified as soon as our next video goes live. And a huge thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. See you next time.